Great. So once again, welcome to today's webinar. My name is Ikin George Elendo, and today I'll be taking us on this presentation about Royal Q and also about cryptocurrency as a whole, especially for those that don't really understand what it is, or you've heard about it before, but you'd like to gain some more knowledge about what exactly cryptocurrency is and what exactly is all about. Please, I love a very interactive class. And as usual, as when I ask you questions, please do well to type in the chat so that we have a very interactive and interesting conversation, webinar. That being said, I'm going to start now. Now, before we talk about what exactly cryptocurrency is, I would like you to know that we have other types of currencies. Now, we have currencies, we have cryptocurrency, we also have what we call fiat currency, F-I-A-T. And whenever you hear this word, it means paper money, money that you can hold in your hands, you can put in your pockets, you can exchange for some good or service. Basically, money that you can physically touch. That is what we call fiat currency. But we have a lot of restrictions when it comes to the fiat currencies and our regular banking systems. Let's take, for instance, you would like to send a significant amount of money to a friend of yours in, let's say, Finland. Now, you want to send them $200,000. You and I know that for you to send this money, for example, if you're in Nigeria, you need to get to the bank, you need to sign some paperwork, you need to ensure that you can even send to this country from Nigeria. You need to ensure that you have the limits to send this particular amount for the day. All that hassle just to send your own money. All that hassle just to send your own money. Basically, there's no privacy because obviously your account officer will know that you're trying to send money. You will sign some paperwork. Just all-round inconvenience just to send your own money. But in cryptocurrency, what exactly is cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency is called digital currency, money that exists only on the internet. It cannot be held in your hands or put in your physical wallets or in your physical pockets. It exists only on the internet. So why is cryptocurrency so amazing for us? Let's take, for instance, the same thing. You would like to send a significant amount of money to a friend of yours that's in Sweden, and you would like to send $200,000 as well to them. But in this time now, you are going to send it in cryptocurrency format or as cryptocurrency. As long as you have a cryptocurrency wallet, you can send this amount of money to them. And the good thing too is it doesn't $200,000, it could be $1 million, it could be $1 billion, it could be $500 million. And it would get to them as easy and as simple as a text message. Yes, it doesn't matter how much it is, it will get to the person as easy and as quick as a text message. Nobody is calling you over to ask you what you do for a living or ask you to declare your bank statement to know what you do for a living, or to just to question how you got your money. In cryptocurrency, privacy is key, which takes us to why a lot of people trust cryptocurrency. Now, people trust cryptocurrency because every single transaction that has ever happened in cryptocurrency gets recorded on what we call the blockchain. Please remember to take notes because I will ask questions as we go on. All right, so like I said, every single transaction, the reason people trust cryptocurrency is because every single transaction that has ever happened in cryptocurrency gets recorded on what we call the blockchain. Now, what exactly is this blockchain? Let me use an everyday example, especially for those that are here for the very first time. Now, take, for instance, for those of us who go to the market to purchase some foodstuff for our family, Maybe you've experienced this. Maybe you went to a market, you went to the market, you went to a specific shop. As you were purchasing something from there, somebody came up to the shop, maybe a lady or a man. In her hands, she was holding a notebook and a pen. Now, she would meet the owner of that shop. She would take a certain amount of money from him or her. Let's take, for instance, 1,000 naira. She takes that money, and on that notebook of hers, much she was given. She also records what day that money was given to her and what time, and who gave her that money. If you notice as well, she moves over to the next shop. She does the same thing for the owner of that shop. She takes a certain amount of money from him or her, let's say 1,000 naira as well, records it on her notebook, and she keeps doing that from each shop, from one shop to the other, from one shop. You take this. Now, what exactly is she doing? Why is she taking that money and why is she recording? Obviously, you know that in Nigerian parlance, we have what we call ajo, which is contribution money. But in that sense, the reason she's writing that amount in that notebook is for the future. So that in the future, there is no discrepancy as to how much was given to her, when it was given to her, and who gave her the money. In that case, that particular notebook would be called the blockchain, because every single transaction is getting recorded on that notebook. So yes, the blockchain is the notebook of cryptocurrency. Once again, the blockchain is the notebook in this description in cryptocurrency, because that is where every single transaction that has ever happened in cryptocurrency gets recorded. Now, why is the blockchain so powerful? It is powerful because of two main things. We have a saying that the blockchain is transparent and it is also anonymous. We have a saying that the blockchain is transparent and it is also anonymous. I'll explain why. These are the two main reasons, the two main characteristics of the blockchain: transparency and it being anonymous. What do I mean by being transparent? Now, like I said, on the blockchain, you can log onto the blockchain right now as we speak. You can scroll back to 5 years or 6 years ago, and you would see a transaction that happened at this same time 5 or 6 years ago. Right now, the time is approximately 15 minutes past the hour of 9. So yes, you can scroll back on the blockchain to 6 years ago at 15 minutes past 9, and you would see a transaction that happened at that time. Now, what would you see there? And why can you still see a transaction that happened way back then? Because of transparency. Because everything that gets uploaded on the blockchain cannot be altered. It cannot be edited. It cannot be deleted. So anything that gets uploaded, any transaction that has happened and has gotten recorded on the blockchain cannot be changed or deleted or altered. That is why we say it is transparent. Now, on that blockchain, what would you see if you scroll back? You would see the wallet address that sent the cryptocurrency at the time. You would see the wallet address that received the cryptocurrency at the time. You will see the amount of cryptocurrency that was sent at the time as well. Excuse me. You would also see the time and date it was sent. All that is recorded and sitting on the blockchain. That is transparency. Anybody can gain access to that information because the blockchain, once again, is like an open ledger for everybody to look at and verify that a transaction actually happened. Now, we have established why I say that it is transparent. But why am I saying that the blockchain is also anonymous? Why? I'm saying it's anonymous because even though you and I can see the wallet address that sent the funds, the wallet address that received it, the amount that was sent at the time, we cannot tell who the owners of those wallets are. We cannot tell if it was John that sent the crypto. We cannot tell if it was Jane that received it. You cannot tell who the owners of those wallet addresses are. So that's how we say that the blockchain is transparent, but it is also anonymous. Moving on. Now we've talked about cryptocurrency. Let's talk about, for those that don't understand that crypto is here to stay, these are a few statistics for you and I. Right here, we have this information was as of last year. As of last year, there were over 420 million crypto users worldwide as of last year. But when I did my research earlier this year, like 6 months or 7 months ago, I realized that we have over 570 million people or crypto users worldwide right now. Of course, you know that this number has significantly changed now because this research was done a few months ago. And obviously, with the surge in cryptocurrency prices now, of course, more people will get interested and will get involved with cryptocurrency. So it's a train that cannot be stopped. And the sooner you get involved, the better for you. So these are the top countries that are involved with cryptocurrency as we speak. Number one, we have the USA at 46 million people, million crypto users in the country. Next, we have India at approximately 27 million. We have Pakistan, we have Nigeria, we have Vietnam at millions. And of course, you know, these numbers have significantly changed at this particular time. So moving on, we've talked about cryptocurrency, we've talked about how it is sent, we've talked about what the blockchain is. But before I go ahead into the next thing, I would like you in the chat to do a little, a little quiz for me. Please type in the chat for those that are here for the very first time. I said that there are two main characteristics of the blockchain. Could you please type what they are? There are two main characteristics of the blockchain. Please type what they are in the chat. I'm looking now. Two main characteristics. Please type what they are. Please type what they are. We have over 100 people in the room right now, so I'm expecting more than 10% of answers. All right, great. So Fatima says transparency and anonymous. Okay. TA says transparent, anonymous. Okay. Abraham, Abraham says they are transparent. Okay, transparent and also anonymous. Fantastic. All right, so I'm happy that permit me to go ahead. So we've talked about cryptocurrencies, we've talked about how they are sent, we've talked about the blockchain. I used an illustration of a lady in the market to lead the market with a notebook to describe how the blockchain works. I talked about top countries that are involved with cryptocurrency. I talked about the number of people that are getting involved with cryptocurrency. Please pay attention because all these details, every little thing I'm saying, every nitty-gritty will lead you to understanding the business of Royal Q. It will lead you to understanding the terminologies, the words that when you see in the groups, you won't get confused. So please pay keen attention to all I'm saying tonight. All right, so for you to get involved with cryptocurrency, for you to own, receive, or send any cryptocurrency, you have to get involved with what we call a cryptocurrency exchange. Now, there are different cryptocurrency exchanges out there. Before we go into that, what exactly is an exchange? What exactly is an exchange? An exchange is a cryptocurrency exchange is basically a digital marketplace or a platform where you can go and purchase cryptocurrency, a digital marketplace where you can purchase cryptocurrency, you can sell, you can buy, you can keep, you can hold on to it. That is the only access that you have to cryptocurrency. That is your gateway to access cryptocurrency. And of course, you know by now, but for those that have been in the know, that there are so many cryptocurrency exchanges out there. Yes, some have come and gone, but there are still a lot of them that are still operational till date. Take, for instance, we have We have Coinbase, we have Binance, we have Kraken, we have Luno, we have Bybit. There are lots of them. We have BitGet. There's so many cryptocurrency exchanges that you can take advantage of. Now, moving on, let's talk about trading pairs. Now, when you hear the word pair, P-A-I-R, P-A-I-R, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Please type in the chat. When you hear the word pair, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? There is no wrong answer. Just type in the chat. You don't have to copy what someone else says. Whatever pops in your head, type. What is the first thing that pops in your mind when you hear the word pair? Please type in the chat. Great. So we have, okay. So I'm looking at our responses. I'm going to start with Michael. Michael said to connect. All right. Pair. Okay. Like Bluetooth pair. Okay. Nice. Shadrach says two. Aqua says double. Okay. Romeo says double or twin. Uchechukwu says two. Aisha says two. Fatima says pair to me means two or more. Okay. Labo says two. Reynolds says two as well. Double, two, one. Fantastic. Connect. All right. So we are all within the same ballpark of answers. When you hear the word pair, the first thing that should pop in your head is the number two. Something that's in twos, something that is paired to something else, something that is connected, something that's in twos. So when you hear the words trading pairs, of course, now you know that it has to do with something in twos, but now it has to do with trading. So what exactly is trading pair, or what exactly are trading pairs? Now let's take for instance, so please pay keen attention once again. Like I said, I'll ask questions as we go on, just so I'm sure that you are moving along with me. Now, let us take for instance, for those that are in Nigeria, you're sitting in Nigeria and a friend of yours has come to visit you from the US. I always use this terminology every week because I know we have new members. So this is the best way. This is the most common and simple way to explain it to the average Joe. So let's take, for instance, you are sitting in your country, Nigeria, and a friend of yours has come to visit you from the United States of America. They've come to visit you in your house in Nigeria, and they hand over, please pay keen attention, they hand over $100 bill to you. They hand over $100 bill to you. Now, you're thankful the very next day because you cannot use this money in the country you are living in, because it is not the legal tender of the country you are living in at the time, you decide to go exchange it for the legal currency of your country. So what do? You head over to or as you call it, an aboki, and you're like, aboki, I beg, how much is the dollar to the naira today? That's how we would typically ask that question, am I right? So you'd ask, aboki, I beg, how much is the dollar to the naira today? The trading pair for that question you are asking him is USD/NGN. NGN. What does this mean? This means that you would like to know what the value of what one currency is to another. You would like to know what is the value of the $100 bill I'm holding in the local currency of the country I'm living in. So, how much is the dollar to the naira today? The question you're asking, the trading pair question you're asking is USD/NGN. This right here is called a trading pair. So I hope you're following. For those that haven't heard about it before, or you've probably seen it before, of course, but you just understand how it works. So here you are. This right here is what we call a trading pair. So once again, please pay keen attention. Let's use another example. So please type in the chat this question, the answer. Let us say, for instance, you are living in the United States of America. That is where you live. That is your home right now. And a friend of yours has come to visit you from the UK. A friend of yours has come to visit you from the UK, and they hand over £100 note to you. They hand over £100 note to you there in the US. Now, because you cannot use that currency in the United States of America, you decide to go exchange it for the legal tender of the country you are living in at the time. Could you please type in the chat, what exactly would the trading pair for that transaction be when you go to the Bureau de Change? What would the trading pair for that transaction be? Please type in the chat. Please type in the chat. Please type in the chat. I says pound/USA. Okay, that is wrong. Abraham says UK/NGN. That is also wrong. Remember, you are living in the US. Hypothetically, you are living. That is your home. And a friend of yours has come to visit you from the UK, hands over £100 note to you. Because you cannot use that money, you decide to go exchange it for the legal tender of the country you are living in. What is the trading pair for that transaction? All right, so Adedolapo says GBP/USD. Awesome. Musa says GBP/USD. A lot more answers are tallying. Michael even gave you the currency signs. Awesome. Anybody else with any altering answers? Fatima says, I will ask, what is the value of GBP to dollar? No, that's a question. I'm talking about the trading pair. You know, we're talking about trading pairs now. So what exactly would the trading pair for that transaction be? All right, so I'm seeing lots of answers that are the same, GBP/USD. Fantastic. Great. So the correct answer for that question would be, let us analyze all the details once again. Remember, hypothetically, you are living in the US, a friend of yours has come to visit you in the US, hands over £100 note to you in the US. Because you cannot use pounds in America, you decide to go exchange that pounds for dollars. When you head over to the Bureau de Change, the trading pair for that transaction would be GBP/USD. GBP/USD. For those who don't know what GBP means, it stands for Great British Pounds. All right? It stands for Great British Pounds. That's what it stands for. All right? So this right here is the trading pair for that transaction. I hope it is clear now. If you understand all I just said so far, please type a yes. If you don't, please type a no. If you understand all I just said right now, please type a yes. If you don't, please type a no. Anybody? All right, great. If I can get 10 answers, 10 yeses, I'll move on. All right, great. So somebody says no. BC Woba says no. And I'm wondering where, because that was as clear as day. Esther also says no. I'll say one more time before we move on. I'll give you the example one more time. I said, hopefully you were here when we started this meeting. If not, you just need to watch the recording or get back to the person who invited you. Once again, the trading pair, we're talking about Trading pair simply means that you would like to know what the value of what one currency is to another. Now, we gave an example. Let's say you are living in the US. That is where you live. That is your home. And a friend of yours that lives in the UK decides to come and visit you there in the US. And when they came to visit you, out of you've been friends for so long, they decide to give you some money. But they don't have dollars at it. They now hand over £100 note to you because that is where they're coming from, the UK. Because you cannot spend that money in the country you are living in at the time, which is the US, you decide to go or take that money to a bureau de change to get it changed to the currency of the country you are living in, which is the United States of America. Now, what do you head over to them and you tell them, could you please exchange this Great British pounds for me to United States dollar, so that I could use it in this country? That is the most basic way to explain it. So the trading pair for that question or that transaction would be GBP/USD, whereby GBP stands for Great British Pounds. That is the pounds that your friend gave to you, while USD stands for United States dollar, which is the currency that you can spend in America. So I hope that is clear for that. Now, let's move on. So with these two examples we've talked about so far, please type in the chat. There are different types of trading pairs. Yeah. So all these examples we've talked about so far, from you being in Nigeria, a friend of yours coming to visit you from the US, you going to an aboki to change it, or to you living in the US, a friend of yours coming to visit you from the UK, and you going to exchange it. All these examples of trading pairs. Can you please tell me what type of trading pairs are they? Number one, are they fiat trading pairs, or are they crypto trading pairs? What type of trading pairs are all these examples we've talked about so far? Please type in the chat. What type of trading pairs have these two examples been? Please type in the chat. Fiat or crypto? Fiat or crypto? So, trying to see more answers. More answers. All right, great. So someone says fiat, 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 fiat. A lot of fiat answers. Any other altering answers? Okay. So we have someone, IB Kaye Samuel says crypto. Eze says crypto as well. Samson says fiat. Yeah, all right. So for those that have said crypto, or for those that have said fiat, could you please explain to others why you came to that conclusion that these examples that these two examples we've talked about so far are examples of fiat trading pairs? Please type in the chat. Just type a short response or short reason as to how you came up with your answer. Anybody? How did you come up with your answer? All right, so Abdul says it is fiat because the money is exchanged by hand. Fantastic. Zoom user said because they are government money while crypto is digital currency. Fantastic. Coach Mo says fiat physical money. Fantastic. Great. So yes, for those that said crypto, just look at the responses, and now you understand why most people said that the answer is fiat trading pair. Because remember, if you listen to the details, the first one, you were in Nigeria, a friend of yours handed over $100 bill to you. So they gave it to you by hand. Same thing as well. In the second example, where you are living in the US, a friend of yours handed over £100 note to you. It was physical touch. You probably put the money in your pocket. It was not sent over the internet. So I hope that is clear to everybody. If it is, please type a yes in the chat. And then I can move on. Can we move on? Fantastic. Awesome. Awesome. All right. So moving on, we've established that we have different types of trading pairs. We've talked about fiat. We've talked about, we've given examples of fiat trading pairs. But now, apart from fiat trading pairs, we also have crypto trading pairs. And right here is an example of one. Right here that says BTC/USDT. This here is an example of a cryptocurrency trading pair, or for short, crypto trading pair. Why? Because these are both cryptocurrencies. BTC here stands for Bitcoin. I'm hoping everybody in this room has heard of the word Bitcoin at some point in our lives. I'm hoping so. BTC stands for Bitcoin, while USDT stands for United States Dollar Tether. I'll say it again. USDT stands for United States Dollar Tether. TETHER. United States Dollar Tether. That is what the T stands for. United States Dollar Tether. Now, what exactly is USDT? What exactly is United States Dollar Tether? USDT, one second, please. All right, so one USDT is equal to one USD. One is equal to one USDT. USDT is the cryptocurrency equivalent of a fiat dollar. USDT is the cryptocurrency equivalent of a fiat dollar. So one US dollar in your hand is equal to one USDT in crypto. And one USDT in cryptocurrency is equal to one US dollar that you can hold in your hands. That is the most basic and most layman way to explain that. So yes, one USDT is equal to one USD, 5 USDT is equal to 5 USD, 10 USDT is equal to 10 USD, and so on and so forth. I hope that is clear. So this right here is just one example of cryptocurrency trading pairs. There are so many cryptocurrencies out there. So of course, there are so many trading pairs. For those that have an idea, can you please type in the chat the cryptocurrency trading pairs you have come across during your time in crypto? Please type in the chat so that those who are here for the very first time can know that there are so many cryptocurrency pairs out there. Please type in the chat. Please type in the chat. Examples. So those that are here for the very first time, just go to the chat and see. You have XRP/USDT, you have Pepe, we have CFX/USDT, we have ADA/USDT, and it doesn't have to end with USDT. As long as it is against another cryptocurrency, it is also a crypto trading pair. Fantastic. Like here we have Sol/USDT, BTC, and so on. All right, moving on. All right, so let's talk about some basic investment strategies. How can you make more of this cryptocurrency? How can you make more of it? Now, let's go into that. The first way is what we call hodling. The first way is what we call hodling. It's a play on the word hold. To hold onto something, hold. When you're holding onto something for dear life, when you're deciding not to let go, that is what hodling means. Take, for instance, years ago, you decided, you know what, I'm going to purchase a piece of land for 1 million naira. I am not going to sell this piece of land until 2024. That is your plan. So no matter what happened, no matter the life challenges, no matter the family troubles and all that, you did not sell that piece of land, and you waited until 2024. Right now, then you go back to that place and you see that that piece of land is now valued at over 20 million naira. So now you see that you made the right decision because you decided to hold on to that piece of land, to hold on to the property and not sell off. That is the layman's way to explain what hodling means. Of course, you know this implies in cryptocurrency. Take, for instance, Bitcoin. When Bitcoin came into play, Bitcoin was less than $1. One Bitcoin, one BTC, was less than $1, than $1. It was less. As a matter of fact, it was in cents. It was in cents, like 10 cents, thereabout. So imagine if back then, when Bitcoin came out, of course, when it came out, there were a lot of people were saying that it's a scam. This thing cannot hold water. It is not backed by anything. It is not backed by the government. It was made by scammers. It will crash in a few months. But here we are, years later, having webinars and Zoom meetings about this same thing that people thought that would crash in months. That is just the power of innovation and the power of believing in something wholeheartedly. Because people who believed in cryptocurrency and Bitcoin from the inception are multi-millionaires and billionaires now. How? Because they bought into it. They believed in the vision of what Bitcoin can do for them. Imagine purchasing Bitcoin when it was in cents. So if one Bitcoin was 10 cents and you decided to purchase 10 Bitcoins back then, you would have spent only $1 to purchase 10 pieces of Bitcoin. $1. 10 pieces. So let's take, for instance, you purchase those 10 pieces of Bitcoin at $1 and you keep that or keep those 10 pieces of Bitcoin in a wallet. You forget about it. You carry on with your life, your 9 to 5, your family. And fast forward to 2024, right now, all the buzz is happening. The news is carrying it. Bitcoin surpasses the $100,000 because right now, one Bitcoin is over $100,000 for one. People said that it never happened. How can something not backed by the government have so much value? But here we are. That is the power of cryptocurrency. So imagine those 10 pieces of Bitcoin that you purchased back then at $1, 10 whole Bitcoins. Right now, you'd have over $1 million because 10 pieces of Bitcoin at the current price of $100,000 is times 10. Of hodling, holding on to something for the longest time possible. Because hodlers look for long-term gains. They are not looking for short gains, make profit now and come out of the market. A lot of people have said, oh, if they had bought Bitcoin back then, they would have made a lot of money now. But it's one thing to purchase Bitcoin back then. It's another thing to see all the volatility, all the ups and downs of Bitcoin and still decide not to sell and wait till now. So it's one thing to just say that I would have made a lot of money now. It's another thing to actually do it and hold on, especially when you see that something that you invested very little money is now worth thousands of dollars. You might not have had the patience even wait till now that it is $100,000. But that's just the power of hodling. Moving on, let's talk about another way you can make more cryptocurrency, and that's by day trading. Now, day trading is done by day traders, but for you to become a day trader, you need extensive knowledge and understanding of the market. Why? Because day traders look for short-term opportunities in the market. They look for the best way to get into a market and get out. You want to make profits quickly, and you're out of the market. Now, this doesn't mean that you must be one or the other. This doesn't mean that you must be a day trader or you must be a hodler. As a matter of fact, you can be both of them. Why? Because there are so many cryptocurrencies out there for you to take advantage of. Yes, there are some coins that you can look at and see that they have long-term potential. Then you can invest those ones for long-term. But also there are coins that are very volatile that fluctuate on a daily basis. Yes, as a day trader, you can search for opportunities in those coins and make profits daily. So yes, you can be a day trader and also hodler. Now, moving on, why exactly are we here today? We are here to talk about Royal Q. But before we do that, let's talk about something that's really important, especially in the world of technology, which is AI. AI. If you know what the meaning of AI is, please type in the chat. If you know the meaning of AI, please type in the chat. What is the meaning of AI? Please type in the chat. The meaning of AI, please type in the chat. All right, so artificial intelligence. Fantastic. So what exactly is AI? AI is here to help make my life or your life and my life easier for both of us. It is here to help make our lives easier. What do I mean by this? Many years ago, before the internet became such a big deal, uh, if you wanted to pass an examination or you had to study, what would you do? You'd head over to the library, pick up a book and read and jot down your jotters or your notebooks. If you have an exam the next day, you read, you go for night class with your friends, study, and then head over for the exam the very next day. Years later, we got introduced to cyber cafes where you would go buy time, spend 20 naira or 50 naira to buy time per hour for you to surf the web, use Google, find more information. We were open to more information than ever before, all thanks to artificial intelligence. Years later, we started getting used to handsets. You could now access the internet from the comfort of your home, from a mobile device that you have in the palm of your hands. And right now, here we are, many years later, on a Zoom call. I might probably never meet any of you guys ever, but here you are, listening to my voice, gaining some form of knowledge that you can. This is the power of artificial intelligence. This is the power of innovation. And the fact is that technology will keep evolving and will keep getting better as the days roll by. In the US, we have the company called Tesla. They produce self-driving self-driving cars. Now, what does that mean? Basically, you can get into your car, just sit back, input the location, excuse me, the destination where you're going to, and it takes you there without you having to touch the steering wheel. It just takes you there through the power of artificial intelligence. In China, there are self-driving taxi companies, meaning that they do not have a single driver on their payroll. All you need to do, select your location, the car will drive up to where you are and take you to your destination. This was not possible in the past. But here we are. It is our present reality. These are things that we saw way back when in movies that would say, that's the future. But that's our present right now as we speak. That is to show you the power of what artificial intelligence can do for you and I. So if you have an AI tool that can help make your transportation better, you have an AI tool that can help make your education better, have an AI tool that can help make your medication, your schooling better, why not have one that can help make your trading better? And that is exactly where Royal Q comes into play. Because Royal Q is an a semi-automated AI trading bot, meaning that this application will work for you. While you go about your 9 to 5 or you're a businessman or woman, this will be your own employee. It will work for you. It would trade for you. It would monitor the markets. It would sell. It would buy with ease without you having to be there presently. That is the power of the Royal Q application. Now, let's move on. Here we have a graphical representation of what I've been trying to talk to you about. On the left, we have a human. Now, this doesn't mean that if you are a human and you don't trade with an AI tool, that you cannot make money. That would be a blatant lie. As a matter of fact, there are a lot of traders that don't use AI tools to make money. Yes, but there is only so much you can do as a human being. There are only so much trades you can monitor at a time as a human being. A human cannot monitor 30 to 50 to 100 trades at a go. It's not humanly possible to do that. A human has emotions. Take, for instance, maybe in the next 3 days, your rent is due, or your kids' fees are due by next week. So now you're trading with emotions because you feel, I need to make this money now. And that is the worst way to trade. Because yes, 9 times out of 10, you will lose money that way. But on the right here, we have an AI tool, the RoyalQ app, that has no obligation to make money for you. It just performs. It has no emotions. It doesn't care if your rent is due by next week or tomorrow or next tomorrow. It just performs. Also, an AI tool can monitor way more trades than a human being can. Yes, it can monitor more trades than ever possible. 50 to 100 trades at a go. That is the power of artificial intelligence. That is the power of the RoyalQ bot. Now, how exactly does this RoyalQ bot work for you and I? This is a diagram that explains it simply. So here we have the RoyalQ application, which will be on your phone or your laptop. Over here we have your cryptocurrency exchange. Remember I told you that every single thing I talked about from the beginning of this webinar till the end will lead you into understanding your business of RoyalQ better. So please, once again, pay keen attention. So over here, we have your RoyalQ application. And here we have your cryptocurrency exchange. For this one here is Binance. In the middle, we have the API. What does this do? This simply connects your RoyalQ application to your cryptocurrency exchange. Why? You may ask me. Because. Why would you need to connect it? Because in RoyalQ, I'm sure that a lot of us here in this room right now, especially for those that are here for the very first time, if you have ever been a part of a business that has promised you heaven and earth, they've promised you, you know what, bring your money, send it to us, we will trade for you, and we will pay you a certain percentage every day or month or week. Of course, they all disappeared. If you have ever experienced something like that, please type a yes in the chat. Let us know those who have been burned like us. If you have ever experienced something like that, please type a yes in the chat. Great. So people are saying yes, me, yes, yes. And someone says no. Oluwaseun, it's either you are new to cryptocurrency space, because if you are been in this space and you haven't, your case is rare. Your case is rare. So yes, a lot of businesses have promised heaven and earth, whereby they say, send us your money, we will trade on your behalf and send you a certain percentage every day or month or week. And of course, they all failed because it wasn't sustainable. But I want you to take something away from this call today. If you don't take anything away from all I've said for the past almost 1 hour, take this one away, that in RoyalQ, you do not send your money to anyone to trade on your behalf. In RoyalQ, you do not send your capital to anybody to trade on your behalf. Why? Because everything remains in your own control. Everything sits pretty in your own cryptocurrency exchange. Why is that important? It's important to know because you have all the details, the passwords, the email addresses, everything that pertains to security is in your own hands. Nobody has access to this account except you. That is unheard of. where a business is telling you that, you know what, hold your money, keep your money. The only thing and the only way we can trade for you is by letting our API connect our bot to your cryptocurrency exchange. And this connection is like a sneak peek to see how much you have in there, thereby letting the RoyalQ bot use those funds to trade for you and make money for you. So what happens? Your capital is here. The trading is happening here as well. Your profits also come back in here. So it's a win-win for you. You have the passwords, the email addresses of your own cryptocurrency exchange. Your capital is in your possession. Your profits are also in your possession. It's a win-win situation. Now you might be wondering, how do they now make their own money? And I'll tell you that as the presentation goes on. So on the right here, what exactly, this is the way RoyalQ bot makes profits for you and I. There are different types of trading, but the safest form of trading is called spot trading. Spot trading. Now, it might sound technical, but by the time I'm done explaining, you will see that it's quite as simple as ABC. Now, let's explain what it is. For every single man and woman here, or every single businessman and woman that decides to venture into a business or start a business, they do it for a main reason. They do it for a main reason. And can you please type in the chat, what is that main reason that every businessman and woman decides, what is that main thing that they want to make when they decide, you know what, I want to try this business out. I want to do this business. What is that main thing? It doesn't matter if it's buying and selling. It doesn't matter if it is online. What is that main thing that they are looking to make when they want to start a business? Great. So a lot of profits, to make profit, money, of course, is make gain. Fantastic. So yes, the answer is every businessman and woman that decides to start a business, they do it for the main reason. Yeah, they might have other reasons, but the main reason is to make profit. Nobody starts a business looking to lose. Nobody starts a business looking to lose money. I have not met the person that is looking to start a business because they want to lose money. You're starting a business because you're trying to multiply your money. You're trying to use the little you have to make more. You're trying to make profits. And what exactly is making profits? In layman's terms, making profits simply is looking for a product, sourcing for a product, buying that product at a lower price, and selling at a higher price. Buying low, selling at a higher price. The difference between this is called your profit. Buying low, selling high. The difference is what we call your profit. Now, I'd like to let you know that this simple thing I just explained here, buying low and selling high, is exactly what spot trading means. So you see that it's not technical. It's just a name. Spot trading simply means that you want to buy a currency at a lower price and sell it at a higher price so that you can make profits. Simple. That is what spot trading means. Now, I told you that there are different types of trading, but spot trading is the safest form. What do I mean by that? Let's explain. So right here we have the main reasons why spot trading is the safest form of trading. Number one, you buy low and you sell high, like I said. No margin or futures trading. Futures trading is very risky, so don't even venture into it if you're not ready. Yes, more profitable, but very risky. So stick to what is safe and don't venture into that one quite yet until you gain more knowledge in that aspect. Next, you can take several trades in a day. Now, there are no emotions and no losses. Yes, in spot trading, there are no losses. You might be wondering, How is that possible? How can you're trading? So how can't you lose money when you're trading? I'll explain to you why it is possible in spot trading. There is only one scenario that we can see that now we can see that you have lost money while spot trading. But apart from that scenario, you cannot lose money in spot trading. I'll explain what it is. Now, let's take, for instance, let's use the layman explanation. Let's say, for instance, you decide to purchase a bag of rice at 30,000 naira. Your plan is that when this bag of rice appreciates to 60,000 naira, you are going to sell off this bag of rice. But something happens down the line. You know, we have our own plan, but the market does what it wants to do. So let's say, for instance, after purchasing that bag of rice for 30,000 naira, your plan was for you to get to 60,000 naira for you to sell off and make profits. But something happens in the market. And now the price of rice starts dropping drastically. Now the rice starts dropping from 30,000 naira. It is now worth, it now drops further. It is now worth 25,000 naira. It drops further. It is now worth 20,000. It even drops down to 15,000 naira per bag of rice. Now, can someone tell me in the chat, anybody, new members, old members, at this very point here, where the price of rice is 15,000 naira, the bag of rice that is still in your house that you're holding at the time that you haven't sold is worth 15,000 naira. Would we say that you have lost your money? It's a yes or no question. Would you say that at this point where the bag of rice is worth 15,000 naira per bag of rice, would you say that you have lost your money? Please type in the chat. Please type in the chat. All right, so we're seeing a lot of no's. I'm sure for those that are here for the very first time, they'll be wondering, why would you say no? And I'm guessing everybody's saying no here, probably members or probably listened to this presentation before. If you feel you have lost money, please type yes. Do not feel pressure to also type no. If you actually feel that you have lost money, please type yes in the chat. If I don't see any yes, see how the bag of rice. All right, great. So I'm seeing that everybody is saying no. So I'm guessing majority of people saying no probably heard of this presentation before or have members, but it's a good thing. So if you're just shy to type yes, I'll explain further. Now, at this point where your bag of rice is worth 15,000 naira, you haven't still lost your money. Why are we saying this? We are saying this because you are still in possession of that bag of rice. The bag of rice is still in your house or in your shop. You haven't sold it. The only thing that has changed is the value of that bag of rice. As long as you don't sell it any price lower than when you bought it, you have not lost your money. Now, why is this important? This is important because the market does two things. The market always fluctuates. The market goes up, it comes down, it goes up, it comes down. So yes, eventually it might take time. It might take a lot of time, as a matter of fact. It could take weeks, it could take months. But yes, the market will recover. And when it recovers, it will recover back to when you first bought into the market, which is 30,000 naira. At that point, you can decide, you know what, I want to break even. I want to sell off my bag of rice at the price I bought it, which is 30,000. Just take your money and leave the market. Or you can decide, you know what, I have waited this long. I'm going to wait for the bag of rice to get to my initial profit target of 60,000. That is your choice. Bottom line is that the rebound from 15,000 back to 30,000 will happen. It will just take time. So that's why we're saying that you have not lost money while spot trading. I also said that there's only one scenario where we can see that you have finally lost your money while spot trading. And what exactly is that scenario? That scenario simply is, at this point, or anything below this point, from 25, from 30,000 down to 15,000, if at any point you decide, you know what, I've waited so long for this market to recover, it's not looking like it's happening anytime soon, I just want to set it off now, I'm tired of holding this rice. If you decide to sell off that bag of rice at that time, anything lower than when you bought, we can now say that you just had an actual loss or a real loss, REAL. We can say that it's a real loss because you have sold off the bag of rice at a price lower than when you bought it. But if you decide not to sell off, if you decide to wait for the market to rebound eventually, anything lower than 30K to 15K, we would call it, while the price is fluctuating, we call it a floating loss. FLOATING loss, meaning that it is constantly floating, it is going up and down, up and down. There is no real loss or actual loss because you haven't sold that bag of rice. So I'm hoping this is clear to everybody else, everybody that's listening, what floating loss means and what actual loss means as well. Now, of course, you know that in this case, bag of rice would obviously mean a cryptocurrency. These are just examples to break it down for the average Joe to understand it even better. All right, so let's move on. We've talked about spot trading, we've talked about how it's done and all that. Now let's move on to the next way you can make money with the RoyalQ bot. The next way the RoyalQ bot trades for you and I to help you and I make more money. And what is that way? Now, we call it martingale strategy, or we call it the dollar cost averaging method. Martingale strategy or the dollar cost averaging method. What does that mean? Let us take an example. Now, let's say there are two people looking to buy a coin. Now, the first person decides, you know what, I'm going to purchase a coin at $200. They are going to purchase a coin at $200. Their plan is that when this coin appreciates to 500, they are going to sell in profits. That is their plan. Let's say the person who decides to do this is called John. Now, John decides to purchase a coin at $200. His plan is that when the price of the coin gets to $500, he's going to sell in profits. But once again, we have our plan, but the market does what it wants to do. So that coin starts depreciating in value and the coin starts dropping. The coin starts dropping from $200, it drops to $150. It drops to $100. It even drops to $50 per coin. Now, Mr. John is wondering, what's happening to my money? Should I sell off? Have I lost my money? But you and I know that because of our previous example, Mr. John hasn't lost his money yet because he hasn't sold at a price lower than when he bought into the market. So Mr. John decides, you know what, I'm not going to sell off. I am going to wait, no matter how long it takes. So yes, like I said, it might take a while, it might take weeks, it might take months for the market to recover. But eventually, the market will recover back to this point. And at this point, Mr. John can decide, I want to break even and sell off at $200, which is the amount he bought the coin, or he can decide that he's going to wait for the market to get, to the initial profit target of $500. That is his choice. If you notice, the only thing Mr. John lost here was time, which was the time it took him to wait for the market to go down and eventually rebound. So that is the first example. Now, let's talk about a different person. The different person is called Miss Jane. Now, Miss Jane decides to do the same thing that Mr. John has done, but with a little difference. Same plan. Miss Jane says, you know what, I'm going to purchase a coin at $200, same amount. And when the price appreciates to 500, I'm going to sell off. That's her plan. But the same thing happens to Miss Jane again. The coin starts losing value. It drops to 150. It drops to 100. It drops to even $50 per coin. Now, but Miss Jane isn't panicking, unlike Mr. John, because she understands the martingale strategy. She understands the dollar cost averaging method. And what exactly is it? Now, every time the coin lost value or reduced in value, Miss Jane purchased more coins. So when it dropped from 200 to 150, she purchased more coins. When it dropped from 150 to 100, she purchased more coins. When it dropped from 100 to 50, she just kept buying more coins. Now, someone might look at Miss Jane and wonder, Madam, are you okay? Why are you still spending money when it looks like you are losing money? Why are you still putting money into this thing that is dumping or losing value? What exactly are you doing? But because Ms. Jane understands the martingale strategy, she decides to purchase more positions while the market is plummeting or going down, because she understands that eventually the market will rise, the market will rebound, the market will come back up. And as a matter of fact, by the time the coin starts appreciating, even to the point where she had bought at first, which is $200, she would have made way more money than $200. And of course, she would have made way more money than Mr. John. Because remember, all Mr. John decided to do was wait for the market to go down and come up. But Miss Jane decided to take advantage of the devaluation of the currency. Every time the market dropped, she just kept buying more positions because she knew that eventually the market will rebound. So at this point here, even when it gets to $200, she would have made way more money. She can then decide, you know what, I'm going to wait until it gets to my initial target of 500. And of course, you know that by this time, her profit will be way more than 500 because she took advantage and purchased more positions when the market was dropping. All this I've talked about here, everything here so far is what we call the martingale strategy or the dollar cost averaging. Buying more positions when the market is going against you because the market will eventually rebound. And this might sound technical, but this is exactly what the Royalty Bot does for you and I, especially you that hasn't joined yet. This is what the Royalty Bot would do for you with ease. You are not there looking for when to buy at a lower price or monitoring the market like Miss Jane. No. The Royalty Bot monitors the market for you, purchases for you, watches when the market goes down and buys more for you. While you carry out your regular 9 to 5 or your daily activities, your Royalty Bot works for you. Moving on. Now, we've talked about the martingale, we've talked about other strategies. Let's talk about a few more that the Royalty Bot uses to make more money for you and I. Now, the next one is called the cycle strategy. Now, when you hear the word cycle, I'm hoping the same diagram comes to your head like mine. When I hear the word cycle, I picture something that is repeating itself, something that's constantly flowing, something that's constantly happening. So when you hear cycle strategy, what does it mean? This is an example. Let's say, for instance, you tell your Royalty Bot, you know what, please purchase this cryptocurrency for me at $200. When this coin appreciates to 500, please sell. If the market comes back down, please buy. If the market goes up, please sell. If the market comes down, please buy. You see that it's a continuous process. It's a continuous execution of trades. You have told your Royalty Bot to keep doing this until you come and stop it. So yes, the Royalty Bot will keep buying and selling as results on how the market's moving. So it will keep doing this until you come online and stop it. It will keep making money for you while you carry out your daily activities. Now, this example right here is called the circle strategy because it is continuous. Now, the next one is called the one-shot strategy. And just like the name implies, it's a one-time instruction given to your Roku bot. Same example. Please purchase at $20. When this coin appreciates to 500, please sell. If the market drops, do not buy. If the market goes up, do not buy or sell. If it comes back down, do not buy or sell. The only important instruction here was the very first one. The very first instruction you gave the Roku bot. That is why it's called the one-shot strategy. So I hope that is clear. Now, what kind of profits can you make from these strategies? The first one, the cycle strategy, you can make from 5 to 30% per month, depending on the cryptocurrency you are trading at the time. Next, for the one-shot strategy, you can make from 5 to 100%, depending on the cryptocurrency as well that you are trading at the time. Moving on, what kind of income can you make from Roku? The first one is called trading income. Now, trading income simply is income that you make when the Roku bot sells successfully for you in the market. When you make profits, we call that your trading income. Next, we have the team trading profits. So when you decide to show someone this business, or as I love to say, bless someone with this business, you get rewarded. When they make profit, you also make profit. Next, we have the affiliate income. This income simply is the same thing. When someone decides to sign up with the business and get started and purchase their own cryptocurrency, their own Roku application, you also get rewarded for showing them this business. Next, you have the fuel fee. What exactly is the fuel fee? Remember, back then I told you that your capital, your profits, everything remains in your own possession. So how do they now make their own profits? How do they make money from this? Did they just create this application for free for you to use without giving them anything? No. They did that because, of course, they want to make profits. It's a business, like I said. So the fuel fee here would be 20%. Now, 20% simply is that every time and only when you make profits, only when you make profits, every time you make profits, 20% of that goes to them. So they are counting on you to succeed. They are counting on you to make profit. So if you don't make profits, they don't get any cut. But if you make a profit, they get 20% or whatever it is that you make. Take, for instance, you make $10 in profits, 20% of that goes to them. If you make $100 in profits, 20% of that goes to them as well. So that being said, let's move on. How do you get started with this Roku business? Now, you will need a minimum of 240 USDT. Remember I talked about USDT? I said it's the cryptocurrency equivalent of a regular dollar. So because this business is a crypto business, you will need to pay with USDT. So you will need a minimum of 240 USDT to kickstart this business. Now, from that 240, 120 USDT goes to your subscription. Just like you pay for your Netflix or your Amazon Prime or your Hulu and all that, this 120 USDT gives you access to use this Roku application, the Roku bot, to help you make money. It's a yearly subscription. Now, 20 USDT goes to your fuel fee. Remember, I said only and only when you make profits is when they get a cut of your own profits as well. So then you will need a minimum of 100 USDT in your cryptocurrency exchange. In this case, Binance, or anyone that you can pair or sync to your Roku application. You will need a minimum of 100 USDT as capital. Of course, the more capital you have, the more profits you make. And it's a good thing, like I said, because you have control of everything. Your capital is in your possession. Your profits also remain in your possession. Nobody has access to your money except you. Moving on. Now, here are 7 reasons why Royal Q is amazing. Number 1, no payment of salaries to anyone because everything is done on your smartphone or your laptop, anyone you choose. Next, no data is required. Now, the only time you require data or internet access is when you are setting up your Royal Q bot, when you are giving it instructions on what trade to carry out. But as soon as you set up and you choose a trade and you click start or activate the trade, you can turn off your data. You can walk into a place that has no internet access or no cell towers, and your trades will go on smoothly. Your Royal Q bot will work for you with ease without you having to be there presently. Next, 0% supervision because your capital and your profits are 100% in your custody. I have said this so many times today, and I said, if you don't take anything away from this call today, take that one away. Now, your kids and your family can inherit this business. We have a saying that in the future, we will no longer be passing on land documents and paper, paper to a lot of our loved ones. We're passing on passwords, our secret keys for our loved ones to access our digital wealth. Next, no loss of funds and no third party. Like I said, no skills required unless and until you decide to become a day trader. Like I said, for you to become a day trader, you need extensive knowledge and understanding of the market. And lucky for you, as soon as you become a member of this business, we have Zoom calls that cater to that. We have amazing leaders that are also teaching us how to trade. We have meetings on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for you to take advantage of. We have meetings almost every day of the week. So use this calls as a marketing tool to build your business. Finally, no CSC or degrees required for you to run this business. Now, what do you stand to gain when you become a part of the RQTMI team? The first one is you get access to the RQTMI premium group. Now, we have a thriving community on WhatsApp, so many groups with amazing leaders that are looking to help you hold your hand and guide you through the journey of Royal Q. We have amazing members that are there, ever present to help you build your business as well. We have Zoom calls, like I said, almost every day of the week for you to bring your prospects, for them to listen and allow us to do the telling for you while you also learn how to build your business. Attend meetings, attend Zoom calls, because the more you attend, the more knowledge you get, the more confidence you have to build your business. Next, free training until you become a pro with the Royal Q bots. Like we said, once you become a part of the business, you basically become a part of the family. Training on how to use the Royal Q bots. We have trading classes, we have Zoom calls that cater to that, and so on. Next, you also get the RQTMI trading setup template. Now, this template caters to whatever capital structure you may have, from $100 to $1,000 to $100,000, whatever it is. There is a setup template that would help you maximize the capital that you have to make the most profits. Now, if you decide to go learn all this elsewhere, it could cost you from $5,000 to $6,000 just to learn it. But as soon as you become a part of the team, a part of the family, you get all this for free. As soon as you purchase your Royal Q bot and start trading, you get all this for absolutely free. All right, so that being said, thank you so much for taking our time to listen to this webinar today. If you got some good value from this, let me know how you feel in the chat. Type value if you enjoyed the meeting, and let us know what you think. Please, for those that are here for the very first time, do well to get back to the person who invited you to the call and let them know that you are ready to get started. This business can help change your finances. You best take it serious. Thank you once again. My name is Ikenna George Elendo. Good night, everyone. I'll unmute ourselves, say our goodbyes. Have an amazing evening. Bye.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Thank you so much.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Coach
Thank
George,
you.
thank you so much.
Good night,
Bye.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you.
A wonderful teaching.
Oh,
Good night. All leaders.
Nice. Good night.
Where can we get the recording,
night.
sir?
Good night. So powerful. Good night.